Hello guys and welcome to class. Today we're going to be talking about poetry, and I know sometimes it can be overwhelming, but I'm going to help you walk through it for the first stanza, so don't worry about it. The first thing that I need you to do is open up your Schoology page to week 3, that is August 31st to September the 9th. Open up the Wednesday folder, and then as you can see we have our assignments. Right here under the Learn, Read and Annotate, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings is where you will be annotating the poem. I want to point out that we do have a video of a read aloud of the poem that Miss Richie was able to record for us and share. The other thing that you can use is this slideshow about figurative language that I created just so that you can have something to refer back to in case you've forgotten or you just need to refresh on it. So you're going to go ahead and click on this assignment, the Learn assignment. Then scroll down until you see the Cami. Go ahead and open the assignment with Cami, and this page will pop up. Now we're going to follow exactly all the instructions that are in here, and you will do okay. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I see that I need to do is read the poem 3 times. And I recommend that after the third time, you pause this video and then read it out loud for yourself. If you're not sure how you're supposed to be reading it or how your voice is supposed to sound, go ahead and go back to the Schoology page, the Wednesday folder, and click on the Read Aloud from Miss Richie. Alright, since I've already read it, we're going to go ahead and continue. Right now will be a good time for you to pause, and then you can continue watching this video so you can hear Miss Richie reading the poem. The next step will be highlight the title and punctuation marks in pink. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my markup and pick my pink highlighter. And I'm going to highlight the title like they said. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I can undo. I can just use my eraser. I'm going to use my markup, pink, highlight this, and any punctuation you see. I only see the period at the end of this stanza. Now I know this is a poem because of the way that it structures. Remember, poems are structured in stanzas. So I know that poems have a lot of meaning within them. So I'm going to get my brain ready for that. I'm not going to be taking anything literally. I'm going to be thinking more of my figurative language and symbolism and all those techniques that authors use in poetry. Also, a good rule of thumb is every time you read anything, go ahead and make a prediction of the title by reading the title. What do you think this poem will be about? I know why the caged bird sings. Well, I know when something is caged, it is bound and it doesn't have any freedom. So that's what I'm going to put. I predict this poem is about someone or something that is bound and doesn't have freedom. Okay? So after I'm done highlighting my title and all the punctuation marks, and I've already predicted what I think this poem is about, I'm going to go ahead and return and read the rest of the instructions. Read the poem out loud at least once if possible. You should have already done that. Use the margins to paraphrase the text and annotate. Paraphrasing just means saying something in your own words. So we're going to summarize each stanza in our own words. As you read, consider the figurative language and the personal connections and world fruits I'm sorry about my accent. Remember, poems use devices such as figurative language to tell a deeper story. I will model the first stanza in this video for you. If you want to review again on figurative language, click on that link. This slide will pop up, and I have put the definition along with some examples of what each of those figurative language are about. Okay, it's just a visual aid to help you. You will underline 3 examples of the free bird with green and 3 examples of the cage bird in red. We are going to highlight 3 examples of figurative language in yellow and highlight 6 examples of vivid verbs in blue. What are vivid verbs? Verbs of great action that pop out for you while you're reading the poem. They make you feel something greater. So be on the lookout for any verb that you think, oh, that sounds so emotional, that stirs something in me. I like that verb. Go ahead and highlight it in blue. And finally, we're going to circle the most important stanza. So now that we're ready, we know what we need to be looking for and what we need to be doing. We're going to go ahead and start reading our poem. As you notice, I have a line going across here. And I like to do that because I like to separate. I'm going to grab my drawing tool. And I like to separate my stanzas because I'm chunking my poems. This is especially good to do for poems because there's so much meaning behind every stanza and every line and every word that we want to be able to break it up into easier little parts. So go ahead and chunk up your poem by stanzas. You can pause this video and do that. Notice how I already did all of mine. Okay, now I'm ready to start reading. And now I'm going to be in the lookout for all the things that they specified in the instructions. It says, a free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wings in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. So there's a lot of imagery there already. First of all, I know that I need to underline my free bird example in green, so I see the free bird right here. Some vivid verbs that I read. I'm going to grab my highlighter here. My verbs are in blue, so leaps is it's a very vivid verb. You can see it leaping in the wing. Floats, it's a little gentle. Dips his wings, is a little gentle. But I like this word, dares. That's such a powerful word. When someone dares to do something, they're courageous and they just go for it, right? And then claims the sky. When you claim something, you take ownership of it. So this bird is doing exactly that. It's leaping. It's acting upon something. It's free to roam around. And then I have a lot of imagery. It's painting that clear picture for me. I can see it flying, in the wind, floating downstream till the current ends and dipping his wings in the orange sun rays, all this color of all this imagery going on. And then I even see personification on the back of the wind. The wind doesn't have a back, right? People have backs. Animals have backs. So every time that you read about a thing or an animal acting as if it was human or having something like a human quality, we call that personification. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my drawing tool and circle that and make a note. Personification, right? The wing has a back. He can ride it like a horse or something that's alive. Okay? Like a person. Now I'm going to read my stanza again. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, dips his wings in the orange sun rays, and dares to claim the sky. So I'm going to put my text box, and in my own words, I'm going to say that this stanza is about a free bird who is able to do whatever it pleases without limits. That's my little summary. Whatever it wants to do, that's what it does, right? No limits. Oops. Okay. So there we have it. That free bird. And then we can go ahead and read. Let's stop and think. Is my prediction of the poem true so far? Not yet. I haven't heard of anything that is bound or caged, right? So why would she name the poem I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings? In order to figure it out, then we need to read the next stanza. So I'm going to model for you because it's very important. I think this is a key in the poem that you see what's something interesting that she did here with her work, the author, Maya Angelou. So I'm ready for my next one. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage, oh, now we see that cage bird, can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. What a contrast, what an image, right? So now my bird, my cage bird, I need to underline it in red. Cage. I also get a lot of imagery from this. I can see that bird inside the cage and everything that's happened to it. I want to highlight that in yellow, all that imagery, so you can seldom see through it. It's his wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. So very big contrast between one and the other bird. I'm going to look for some action verbs, vivid verbs. I'm just going to circle them. Oops, in blue. Stalks. Rage. It's a very vivid verb. That rage that it feels, right? And now I want you to pause and think about this. What are the differences that you see between the two of them? Do you think that the author is still talking just about birds, or can the birds represent something else? Look at how the bird in the cage is acting, the boundaries it has, right? But I want you to notice one particular thing. This is the first time that we hear that the cage bird sings. Why would a cage bird sing? Everything else is bound. But what is the one thing that isn't bound for him? And we can make a connection here. They took away everything else. They clipped his wings. His feet are bound. He's in a cage. He stalks something in that cage. What is it? What does it long for? There's one thing that they couldn't take away. And he's using it. So you can make a connection right now, guys. Right now we're bound at home, right? But what is it that they can't take from us? So I'm going to write a summary here, right quick, before my time ends for this video. Well, I'll see you next time.